Greetings! Rena the Bane here, and today I want to talk to you about one of the little processes in the current little animation project I'm working on. So as a quick overview, the animation is basically my final for Intro to 2D Animation course, and it's two assignments combined, both involving puppet animation. The first one was a walk cycle, and the second one was a lip sync. And what I did is I wanted to combine them into one little animated short, and so I've been working on that. Since both involve puppet animation, I'm going to show you the puppets. So here we go. Alright, this handsome man over here is Kumaman, or Kumaman, whatever, and he is one of the mascots of the company Tofugu, and they're alright. And I asked them permission if I could use all of their mascots in the animation, so I got permission, and I'm very excited about it because they're adorable, and I think it's going to be an enjoyable thing. So the first part of our process was make character sheets, which is what this is over here in reference to this guy, which is the model. Boop. So yeah, here's the model. Let's select all of the parts, and you will see that as a puppet, each of the parts are composed of parts. And you can see each part surrounded by a blue square that shows they're separate. And the little round dots are their anchor points, which is how we animate them. Basically, that point is where they move when you try and rotate or move them. So puppets, generally they're composed of, well, each part would be its own separate thing. So an arm would be the forearm, the hand, and the shoulder or whatever, and depending on what you want to do with your puppet, you could have a ton of parts or very few parts. In the case of Kumaman, I think that I didn't really use that many parts. I used basic parts, so his leg, for example, isn't composed of a thigh, a knee, shin, and foot. It's just one piece. And what I did to compensate for that, because if I was to animate it like that, it would just be like watching this move, like little retro video game cam leg character movements. So, oh, now it looks like he's stretching. That's cute. So yeah, what I did to compensate for that was, instead of making separate, like a ton of separate body pieces, I made separate replacement pieces for each leg, so when I animate it, it'll look more like frame-by-frame animation. It's sort of simulating that, as opposed to having all those different parts and have them move in this box-like or robotic manner that tends to be evident in puppet animation. I'm not very keen on that. I don't like how it looks, honestly, but there are ways around it like this, and if you're a good animator, then you could probably do it without what I'm doing, but I'm not there yet. I'm working with what I can, and I think that's perfectly adequate. So anyway, yeah, so that's this, whoopsie, that's this guy. And he's alright. He's a pretty cutie patootie, honestly. So let's check out some of the other characters, the other mascots. Here's the Tofugu. Look at him! He's the cutest! So again, he's composed of various parts that can be moved depending on how we want to move them. What's similar about both of these mascots or both of these puppets is that none of them have faces. The reason for that is I'm going to animate the faces as part of the lip sync process in a frame-by-frame process, where the bodies would be puppets. That way, I don't know, it seems for me, I imagine it will save a lot more time than making a bunch of puppets for the mouths and replacing them over and over and over again. And I can just have them shaped and placed wherever I want to in the frame-by-frame process, and it works more conveniently for me. So that's why that's the case. Next is the Tofugu. Look at him! He's also cute. He's actually composed, even though he has the most parts, I think, out of all of them because of the spikes, he's actually has the least puppet movement because the spikes actually make one whole piece, which is the ball body. So really, he's the simplest of the puppets in the working process. And the most complex puppet in comparison is the Wanikami, where, as you can see, all his legs are fully posable with different segments. And he's got so many legs because, well, that's just in his nature. He can't help it. So yeah, that's, oh no, I didn't rig him right. There we go. So yeah, those are the puppets. Pretty simple. That's it.